Hello everyone, this is Dr. Liv with New Insight, and thank you so much for joining me in another video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and join the New Insight community for daily clinical and practical content to improve your mental health, healing, self-growth, and relationships. I'd like for you to sit down and take a moment. Just stop for a second. Take a deep breath. Now look at yourself. Not at your job title, not at your responsibilities, not at what everyone expects from you, not at the roles you play as a parent, spouse, friend, employee, caregiver, student, provider, or supporter. Just look at you, the person in the mirror. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to be kind to everyone else? You listen when they're hurting. You encourage them when they're struggling. You forgive their mistakes. You give them patience. You give them grace. You give them understanding. You attend to their needs, even when you're mentally exhausted, even when you're emotionally drained. You show up, you help, you support, you give. Sometimes giving what you don't even have left to give. And somehow, somewhere along the way, you forget about the person staring back at you in the mirror. You become your own harshest critic. You replay your mistakes. You magnify your flaws. You focus on what you haven't done instead of recognizing everything you have done. You downplay your accomplishments. You dismiss compliments. You compare yourself to others. And before you know it, you've become harder on yourself than you would ever be on anyone else. But today, I want you to do something different. Today, I want you to focus on you. Not because you're selfish, not because others don't matter, but because you matter too. When you look in the mirror, practice listening to your inner guide instead of your inner critic. Your inner critic reminds you of every mistake you've made. Your inner guide reminds you of every lesson you've learned. Your inner critic points out your weaknesses. Your inner guide reminds you of your strengths. Your inner critic tells you you're not doing enough. Your inner guide reminds you of how much you've already accomplished. Your inner critic says you're falling behind. Your inner guide reminds you that growth takes time. The voice you choose to listen to matters because eventually it becomes the voice you believe and the voice you live by. And here's something I want you to really think about. You owe it to yourself to take care of you. Not last, not after everyone else's needs have been met, not after you've exhausted every ounce of your energy trying to make everyone else happy. You owe it to yourself first, because first and foremost, you are the one person you'll spend every moment of your life with, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know your thoughts, you know your fears, you know your insecurities. You know your dreams, your goals, your disappointments. You know the silent battles no one else sees. You are there through every victory, every setback, every heartbreak, every accomplishment, and every lesson. So why would you treat yourself like an afterthought? Think about it. If the foundation of a house is neglected, eventually everything built on top of it begins to crack. The walls suffer, the floors weaken, the structure becomes unstable. And the same thing happens in our lives. You are the foundation. If your mind isn't nurtured, if your heart isn't cared for, if your spirit isn't replenished, if your needs are constantly ignored, then confidence becomes difficult to maintain or even achieve. Peace becomes harder to find, and happiness feels temporary or completely out of reach because you're trying to build a fulfilling life on an exhausted foundation. And that's why taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. It's maintenance, it's survival, and it's growth. When you strengthen yourself, every area of your life becomes stronger. When you nurture yourself, you have more to give. When you love yourself, you stop depending on everyone else to prove your worth. Normalize giving to yourself. Normalize investing in yourself and choosing yourself. And not because you're better than everyone else, but because you matter too. So look at yourself. Really look. Look at everything you've survived, everything you've overcome. Look at the obstacles you've pushed through. Look at the responsibilities you carry, the sacrifices you make. Look at the people you've helped. Look at the times you kept going when giving up would have been easier. Look at the mornings you got out of bed despite feeling overwhelmed. Give yourself some credit. Acknowledge your achievements. Accept your compliments. Celebrate your progress. You don't have to wait until you've reached the finish line to be proud of yourself. You've already come farther than you realize. And please remember this: you deserve rest. You are a human being. Even the strongest people need rest. Even the most dependable people need support. Even the most capable people need time to recharge. Rest is not laziness, it's not weakness or failure. Rest is recovery, it's healing, and it's preparation for what comes next. And your mind deserves peace. Your body deserves care. Your heart deserves compassion. Your soul deserves replenishment. And you deserve balance. And not because of what you do for others, but because of who you are. So I ask, when was the last time you did something just for you? What have you done for you lately? Not because someone asked you to, not because someone expected it, not because you needed to prove something, but simply because it brought you joy. Maybe it's getting that new hairstyle you've been thinking about. Maybe it's taking the class you've been putting off. Maybe it's applying for the position you know you're qualified for. Maybe it's starting the business you've dreamed about for years. Maybe it's finally prioritizing your health and making that appointment. Maybe it's taking a trip. Maybe it's setting boundaries. Maybe it's walking away from a workplace that no longer values you, or leaving a relationship because you've decided you deserve more than settling. Whatever it is, you do not need permission. You do not need approval or anyone else's validation. And you don't need to prove your value. You don't have to earn your humanity. And you don't have to suffer to deserve good things. You are already worthy right now, exactly as you are. So continue striving to be your best. Continue showing up for your goals. Continue growing, learning, and becoming. Be as patient, understanding, forgiving, and compassionate with yourself as you are with others. Because the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. The way you speak to yourself, treat yourself, and value yourself matters. So today, when you look in the mirror, I hope you see someone who deserves their own kindness. And right now, moving forward, learn to love and focus on you.